Amazon bought another company. um, this is comiXology. They bought last week. It comes after they've bought over the years a lot of companies that are still around. They don't swallow them whole, it seems. So your IMDb's and Audibles and Woots, uh,
Zappos.
Zappos, exactly. Those are all Amazon companies now. And what they seem to do when they buy a company is kind of bring the intelligence of that company to bear to make Amazon better and to add a lot of links, not like hyperlinks, but also like connections between Amazon's data and the data that's available. So there are a lot of audible Amazon links now that wouldn't have been there otherwise. But all those companies still operate on their own. And so comiXology, which is the leading comic book digital retailer, is now going to be an Amazon company. Amazon's comic book strategy has not been great. Their reader is passable, but it's not really good. At the same time, comiXology reaches a much more of a fan audience, and Amazon reaches a really broad audience. So I'm mildly optimistic about comiXology not being destroyed by Amazon, but I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think Amazon's big strategy is, not just with these purchases, but with everything they're doing? And do you think that what the directions Amazon is going in are good or bad? And Dan Frakes, we just went counterclockwise the last time, which is very confusing. Dan Frakes, we'll start with you this time.
Well, I mean, I think their strategy is to be the one place people go to buy everything. I mean, they're picking up shoes, they're picking up technology, they're picking up any kind of books and media and MP3s and video. I mean, and as an Amazon customer and a Prime subscriber, it kind of works. I mean, I know that nowadays if I want to buy something, the first place I look is on Amazon. So I can't really fault them for that. And I have to say that as opposed to Google, which tends to buy things and then kill them, it seems like, I like the fact that Amazon buys Zappos and then just says, you can still be Zappos. Just do what you're doing. Because it makes me feel like when a company gets bought by Amazon, it might be a good thing for everybody involved.
Yeah, it seems like they have a real interest in buying companies that people like, which is interesting, and then not really messing with it because they realize what people like about it. And Dan, your point about contrasting that to Google is perfect because Google seems to have a history of buying companies and then not really knowing what to do with them, and then eventually sort of shrugging their shoulders and a lot of times kind of giving up on it or melding them into some other product, right, so they can sort of suck the marrow out of it. Amazon, yeah, I don't know what their overarching strategy is because if you look at all those purchases, they're incredibly disparate in terms of what they do. A company like Zappos or Audible, they're very different. Audible, and comiXology at least sort of have a synergy with Amazon, which started out in books, right? So there's a media angle there, and I think that there's a lot to be gained from those which have very key audiences behind them. Like comiXology, I think, had a really great base, and that's something that Amazon was lacking, I think. I don't think they were probably doing as well in digital comics as comiXology or maybe even Apple was doing. And they might be able to take advantage of some of that infrastructure, yeah. But overall, it does seem like I think Jeff Bezos may just be a guy who admires a well-thought-out, well-run company and wants to learn from that and sort of take what they can learn from that and shovel it back into Amazon to make Amazon even better. And it works for them pretty well, so for the most part so far. So I'm intrigued to see where that goes next.
Yeah, I don't really read comics, so I'm not sure how appropriate the purchase is, but I know that Amazon is putting out hardware now to try to push their content ecosystems. We just reviewed the Amazon Fire TV, which puts all Amazon's video and TV content just front and center. When you search, it only shows you Amazon content, basically. And there's those cool bundles, like I'm a Prime subscriber, so I get all the Prime Instant Video. And I haven't used this because I don't have a Kindle Fire tablet, but they're also bringing it to Fire TV, which is Kindle Free Time, which is kind of an all-you-can-eat content subscription for kids that gives them apps and games and books. So maybe the comiXology purchase could fit in there and could, sweeten that pot a little bit because I think that they really love it when people.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So close.
Susie, are you back?
Yeah, hi.
We lost you there for a minute.
You froze. Sorry. Was I still talking? Do you want me to say that again?
Yeah, you said the part about how people really love it would be great, because I missed that part.
Yeah, so maybe the comiXology purchase could, be bundled into those Kindle Free Time subscription plans, because I'm sure Amazon really likes it when people buy those all-you-can-eat plans.
Oh man, it would be great to see an Amazon Prime equivalent of the Marvel Unlimited sort of thing with where you could. I don't think they'll do that, but it would be cool.
They don't own the content though, right?
Right,
They have to pay for that whereas Marvel owns it and they can make their own product. But
right, but I mean they don't own the video content on Prime either, right? They have to make deals with all the studios there too. Could be interesting.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's an interesting point. What if they made deals with all the comic publishers?
They have a thing now where they give away some Kindle books for free every month. Maybe they might leverage into that. Couple free comic titles every month to get you interested.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Well, I realize I write so much about Apple that I lose track of sometimes how I also use lots of Google services, and I use Amazon all the time. I'm definitely in Amazon's ecosystem about as much as I'm in Apple's ecosystem. So I'm intrigued to see where they go, and I love the fact that they buy these companies and they don't just shut them down and strip them for parts. As an owner of a Squeeze Box, which got bought by Logitech and destroyed and shut down, as an owner of Ultimate Ears headphones, which got bought by Logitech again and ruined. I like it when a company buys a product and actually recognizes its value and keeps it around instead of messing it up, and maybe uses their resources to make it better by being able to make other deals and improve its technology. And in this case, I think comiXology is actually going to improve Amazon's technology, which is kind of